Thorfinn's eyes were always filled with fury. He was 28 years old, tall, his muscles hardened like steel, his beard short and black. A deep scar marked his left cheek, carved there by an axe 3 years ago. That scar was the beginning of what made him the Shadow Breaker. His axe could cut even through shadows, because he had forged it with rage. With every strike, his anger sharpened like a blade. His hands grew calloused, his fingers thickened. He no longer sweated, even in the heat. Last winter, the village was attacked. The creature came at night. Its scales shimmered like black obsidian, its eyes burned like red fire. Its claws were sharp as iron, its tail like a whip. It had no wings, yet it rose from the ground like a shadow, and wherever it touched, darkness spread. According to legend, it was one of Nidhogg's sons, a cursed fragment of the serpent god who gnaws at the roots of the world tree. It devoured half the village. The men fought, but the creature grew new arms from the shadows. The more it was wounded, the stronger it became. Thorfinn lost his brother. The creature seized him in its claws and tore him apart before his eyes. His father drove his axe into the beast in his final moment. But the creature pulled him into its shadow. That night, Thorfinn struck his axe against the frozen ground. The blade cracked. But he did not. He swore an oath, "I will find the creature. I will cut it down and devour it." He set out alone. He carried only his axe and a flask of honey. The honey would keep his blood warm, protect him from freezing in the cold. When he left the village, he did not look back. If he did, he would grow weak. On the first night, wolves came. They were hungry, their eyes glowing in the dark. Thorfinn did not light a fire. Fire would reveal him. He drew his axe. With a single strike, he split the first wolf in two. Hot blood burst into the snow, staining it red. He knocked the second down with his fist and crushed its skull. The crack of bone echoed through the forest. The third wolf fled. Thorfinn did not stop. He did not even wipe the blood from his hands. The warmth in his grip gave him strength. On the second day, the snowstorm came. Snow rose to his knees, and the wind cut across his face. His shoulder began to ache. The old scar throbbed. He did not stop. He took shelter in a cave. Inside, he lit a fire and drank the honey. His blood began to move faster, but the cold still crept into his bones. He stayed awake through the night. Shadows moved along the cave walls. They whispered, "Turn back." Thorfinn tightened his grip on his axe. He did not listen. He swung his axe and the shadows scattered. But as they faded, one clung to his arm. A cold sensation spread. He gripped his arm until the shadow melted, but it left its mark. Black veins spread beneath his skin. With every heartbeat, the veins burned. Thorfinn clenched his teeth. The pain kept him awake. On the third day, the forest grew darker. The trees twisted, their branches like claws. His steps grew heavy. The honey was gone. Blood loss made his head spin. But he did not stop. On the fourth night, he faced the creature. It stood at the mouth of a cave. Its scales glowed like black flame. Its eyes locked onto him. "Your blood will taste sweet," it said, its voice echoing through the cave. Thorfinn did not answer. He ran, raising his axe. The creature slashed with its claw. Thorfinn leapt aside, but the claw grazed his shoulder. Blood flowed. He felt the pain, but he did not stop. He brought his axe down upon the creature's neck. The scales cracked. Black blood burst forth. The creature roared, and its roar shook the forest. Trees trembled. Snow fell from the branches. The creature lashed its tail and hurled Thorfinn to the ground. His ribs broke. His breath vanished. The pain cut through him like a blade. Thorfinn rose to his knees. The creature lunged. Its claws tore into his chest. His armor ripped open. Blood poured out. Thorfinn swung his axe and severed the creature's forearm. The limb fell to the ground, but it melted away, and a new arm rose from shadow. Thorfinn understood. The more it was cut, the more it multiplied. "Then I will stop cutting you," he muttered. He drove his axe into the ground. The creature laughed. "Do you surrender?" Thorfinn stood, drenched in blood. "No. I will strike you from within." He charged. The claws struck again, tearing his shoulder and ripping his chest. Thorfinn did not stop. He leapt into the creature's mouth and drove his axe into its throat. The beast roared. Thorfinn twisted the blade. Black blood filled his mouth. He swallowed. It burned down his throat, but he did not stop. He drove the axe deeper. The creature trembled. Its scales cracked. Its eyes faded. Thorfinn pulled the axe free. The creature collapsed. Black blood spread across the ground. The beast melted away, leaving only a black stone behind. The stone was both hot and cold, burning like ice and flame combined. A voice echoed from within it, "You have won. But you will pay the price." Thorfinn picked up the stone and set it into the handle of his axe. The blade shone once more, this time not black, but silver. He stood, struggling to breathe. He was losing blood. His shoulder hung limp, his ribs aching with every breath. But he walked. Each step left a trail of blood behind him. The forest was silent. The shadows fled. When he returned to the village, it was spring. The village still lay in ruins. Thorfinn struck his axe against the ground. The earth trembled, and new sprouts rose from the soil. The villagers returned. Thorfinn did not speak. He simply tied his axe to his back and walked toward the forest once more, because he knew there were other creatures. And he was still alive. His axe was now his brother. And the blood oath was not finished, it had only begun a new chapter. As he entered the forest, he looked back. The village had begun to bloom again. He smiled, for the first time. Then he tightened his grip on his axe and walked into the darkness. His wounds would heal. But his fury would never fade.